I'm in a rabbit hole. I need help. I need somebody to pull me out because I came across a solitary tweet. I don't even know if I can find the tweet anymore. I've spent so long buried in other stuff. Yes, this tweet that was shared around. World champions. Our over 70 squad have only gone and done it. Over 70 World Cup winners at the over 70 World Cup in Japan. And after that, I have spent essentially the next hour fishing for what the hell this is. Okay, because off the top, obviously, there is not a FIFA regulated senior football circuit, right? You've got your under 17 World Cup, your under 20 World Cup, then the actual World Cup. That's what FIFA organizes, right? That's what they do. The different federations organize their own shindigs, right? And Olympic qualifying is separate from that. It works as like U23s and stuff. That's organized separately. So FIFA organizes its 3 World Cups. You got the men's and the women's side. You get both of those World Cups, and then you're good. There is none, this is not a FIFA officially sanctioned event. So what the hell is it? And more importantly, I mean, look, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Organizing a national team of dudes over 70, I don't even know what that looked like, right? So the first goal that I had going into this was to find some sort of video footage of this event. I want to see what it looks like to see, what level are we working with here? And the first thing I discovered while looking around is a couple of BBC articles about how the Welsh team has managed to win. Now, this is a picture of the Welsh team, so, shout out to these lads repping the Welsh flag, right? But these guys, playing a match, right? And look, if you're over 70 years old, playing a match not going to be the easiest thing in the world. And then I discover that the schedule of the tournament involves more than one match per day. We're going to get there. It's ridiculous. Absolutely absurd, right? They managed to beat the United States 2-0 in the final. Whatever. Who cares? It's been really demanding, but the boys really pulled together. They interviewed the goalkeeper of the over 70 Welsh national team. We got a great team spirit amongst the squad. We enjoy each other's company. It's been an absolutely fantastic experience for the team. We had our backs against the wall for much of the game. The U.S. are a quality side with lots of former MLS professional players. Totally separate rabbit hole I went down on this. MLS is only founded less than 30 years ago. How do there over 70 play? There aren't. Like BBC's great journalism here, right? BBC is a good journalistic enterprise that adheres to the rules of journalism. But this is kind of just a miss because either these players are not over 70 or they were playing in the inaugural MLS season at the age of 40. That's cool. Maybe they were NASL or whatever. But if the league was founded, oh my God, my math. It was founded after the 1994 World Cup. 1994 was 32 years ago. It's not really that bad, okay? It was 32 years ago. A little more, not a little less, a little more than 30 years ago. Still. I mean, these guys would have had to have been old. These were probably high-level college soccer players or NASL or something, some other like semi-professional league that was running in the United States, not the formally federation-organized launch of MLS. So that befuddled me. Right, because the U.S. was apparently very good. But, once they got their noses in front, there was no way they were going to lose that game. Given our age, you really wouldn't ask teenagers to do what we've been doing over the last few days. Yeah, all right. That's kind of true, though. I mean, they did play 2 matches a day for 3 straight days. It's great for our physical well-being and for our mental well-being. We've made so many friends, and we've had some fantastic experiences since we've been playing veterans football. And apparently it's really well organized in Wales. There's brackets. Every 5 years you move up, over 40s, over 45s, over 50s, over 50. You get the idea. So Wales is actually able to compile a really competitive national team of over 70s because there is a competitive league structure in Wales organized by the FA for guys that are over 70. And in fact, this tournament wasn't even just the over 70s. The rabbit hole is taking me down. But sorry, I got to show you the video footage I've found. This is the only video footage I have found of the tournament. And this seems to come from this guy named Hans Voss, who I'm going to trust with my life on this one. He says he's a football journalist who writes Japanese magazine World Soccer Digest about Dutch football. So Okay. Dude's in Japan, which is where this tournament was being played. It's not the first time it's been played either. I've learned so much. And he recorded this footage for us. And here we have the German team against the English team at the over 70 World Cup. And I'm not going to lie, these dudes are looking pretty good. I mean, they hit the bow at the beginning, obviously. We've got the little exchange of banners. Pretty Bush League, if you don't mind me saying, from England here. They seem to be handing off a poster, some sort of laminated poster, while Germany, you can see the look of disappointment on his face here. While Germany is actually handing off, one of the actual things. So England needs to get its over 70 stuff together, especially considering England were apparently the reigning champions in this event. I don't know. They didn't win it this time, obviously. Wales, baby. But yeah, I mean, the footage is interesting. I mean, there's some physicality. There's some passing. Some old guy stuff going on, too. That dude's just, I don't really know what he's doing there. I guess he's just going Super Saiyan because he missed a kick or something. But, I mean, this is fun. This is kind of a fun, wholesome, feel-good story on this channel, which is weird. Normally, we're just talking about Barcelona's finances, but alas, you see, this is when I discovered that there were over 75s. BBC wrote an article about the English over 75s, and then I finally managed to find a table. I went into the depths of the internet, otherwise known as Facebook, and I uncovered a post from somebody called EVFC, an affiliated Veterans Representative Football Club for English players over 50, which seems like a good source. And they posted like updated tables that, a good number of people were commenting on and interacting with, cheering on the English teams. But I knew there had to be a website. It was driving me crazy. Like, you don't organize a tournament, fly different countries into Japan, right? You don't do all that unless you have a website where people can keep track of it. But I kept looking and looking and looking, and then I returned to this tweet. This tweet was the kernel of truth, because they referred to it as the 070 World Cup. Now, when you search the 070 World Cup, you get a bunch of references to the 1970 World Cup, and then eventually you find this, right? This website, the World Soccer Festa 70 Plus, 2025 in Tokyo. We've got nations listed out at the bottom. The World Soccer Festa 70 Plus, an international football tournament for active veterans, will be held in Tokyo, Japan this year, and the games will be played over 3 consecutive days from October 1st to October 3rd. I don't really know necessarily too much about it. It started in 2017, and I don't know like who's funding it or anything. I haven't necessarily been able to figure that out. But they do have a list of the teams and what kind of country or region they come from. For example, in the over 70 team list, we've got 4 different teams from the U.S., right, that include the Freddie Fund, which is the team they met in the final. Then you have like a German team, Welsh team, English team, Australian team, Taiwan, and then 3 different Japanese teams that have been organized to make up the 12. The over 70s have got 10 teams. And then a huge shout out, honestly, to the over 80 teams, made up of Japan's national team, an international team made up of players from the U.S., Australia, Germany, and Japan, an America's team of U.S. and Canada, and Kanagawa United, which I would presume is a mostly Japanese team. Now, they've listed out the managers as well, which raises an important question. Is it as big of an issue if your manager is younger than your players in this sort of an event? I would imagine not. And I have not been able to find any footage of the over 80s in order to show you, but I love the fact that they're here. They've got their 4 teams. They're going after it, And then I found this, schedule and results. These are the tables. You had your Japanese teams. You had your U.S. teams. You had your couple of national teams from Wales, Australia, Germany, England, Taiwan that were balling out. And that produced what was, they have the score of each match. We got 5-0, Komazawa United just getting absolutely run. Wales are the 3-0 over NC United, and then a draw with Connecticut United, I would imagine, is what that is. Then on the second day, our heroes from Wales beat Komazawa. They didn't look very good, did they? Komazawa ended up with 3 points. They did get a win. Germany actually only ended up with a draw, which is a super tough look for them. But, England didn't look great either. They only got 7 points. Wales was rocking 13 points from 5 matches. They were absolutely flying because they boat raced Australia 4-0. As I'm sure you probably saw. And that brings us to the final, which was Wales 2-0 over Freddie Fund. And that completed my investigation into what the hell was going on here. I still don't necessarily know why it happens. or what the point is. I mean, we've got like the whole layout in the different stadiums to watch the matches in, and then they've got closing banquets as well. But whoever's doing this, unless it's not some sort of money funneling front for a regime or drug lord or something, good on you. This is a cool thing to be doing. This is neat. I'm glad these guys are doing this. I'm sad one of the U.S. teams didn't win. But I think it would be cool if more federations organize themselves the way Wales does, where you have different older age brackets and kind of a league setup that the FA sets up to allow guys to play. Because I imagine when I'm 70, I'm going to want to be kicking a ball around. That sounds nice. Maybe I'll try and play in this World Cup, right? And then 100 years after I pass away, one of my relatives can be like, yep, I'm related to somebody that played in a World Cup after all. You never saw that coming.